5 years ago. Just ask Sensei, the little blonde girl said. I can't, Naruko-chan, 7-year-old Kane responded, downtrodden. Why not? She responded, clearly frustrated. I just can't, okay? Please stop asking. Kane said, also frustrated. Well, maybe you have to learn somehow. Why don't you just go to the library then? You could have the library lady teach you. She said it as if she had just said something genius. Maybe she had. And stay out, you little monster. Kane rubbed his backside as he glared up at the now closed library door. So much for that. He needed to focus on getting money for dinner tonight anyways. He paused as a thought occurred to him. If he was willing to take what he wanted from someone to get food, why couldn't the same concept apply to books? He smiled a gleeful smile. Breaking into the library was so easy. The windows weren't even locked. The library was big. Very, very big. But he eventually figured out the order to the madness. It wouldn't be long until, there. This is what he needed. As he began reading the book he just picked up titled, Chakra, the Basics, he quickly found a spot in the sanctuary. Kane was excited. So excited. The Hokage called him to his office. Some Chunin let him know, and then proceeded to sneer at him, of course. He hadn't seen the Hokage since his birthday, and that was a long time ago. He was excited. The Hokage was the only person in the entire village that seemed to care about him, if only a little. Except Naruko-chan, of course. He found a smile on Kane's face as he entered the Hokage's office on autopilot. He jumped, startled, when he realized he was standing in front of the Hokage's desk, and said Hokage was giving him an amused grin. Hey there, Kane. Hi, Mr. Hokage. The fourth gave Kane a fond smile. I have something for you. Really? A gift? For me? What is it? He spoke with such enthusiasm. The fourth Hokage gave him an apartment for his birthday about 1.5 years ago. He really loved that he had his own place. He hated the orphanage and never looked back when they kicked him out when he was 5.5. The fourth Hokage was one of the only 2 people in the village Kane cared for. Here, open it. He gave Kane a small, wrapped box, which Kane quickly tore into. Inside lay matches? The small child asked in confusion. Yes, Kane, matches. 1,200 to be exact. For your little nightly escapades to the library, he whispered conspiratorially. Kane blushed in embarrassment of getting caught, but then smiled widely when he realized that this gift clearly meant the Hokage didn't plan to stop him. Thanks, Mr. Hokage, Kane said, clutching the box to his chest. The fourth chuckled fondly. Present. Kane had improved tremendously, but it wasn't enough. This became abundantly clear as he, once again, found himself eating dirt. Naruko was the one to show him to his meal this time around. Sasuke had done so earlier. He had gotten better, much better, but he still lacked something important. Character. He only used the academy-style taijutsu. He had nothing to call his own. Sasuke had his Sharingan, his fire jutsu, his clan's taijutsu. Naruko had her shadow clones, her Rasengan, her wind-style jutsu. Kane had nothing. He needed to change that. He couldn't believe his luck. When he went for his usual round tonight of pickpocketing one person in the streets, this time he accidentally did something risky. He stole from a Chunin. Obviously not a very good one, as the guy didn't even realize Kane stole from him. Kane couldn't believe his luck. Not only had he gotten away with something risky, but the guy was carrying something he'd want to get his hands on for a very long time. Chakra paper. As he settled into his usual seat in the library, Kane let out a loud, content sigh. He wasn't worried about bothering anyone else. It was 3 a.m. after all. He wanted to get a hold of this paper for so long. Now he could find out what his affinities were. He hoped he got something cool. As he examined the book on the chakra paper, he nodded. It was simple enough. pump chakra into it and watch and see how the paper reacts. For fire, it'll ignite and turn to ash. For wind, it'll split in two. For lightning, it will wrinkle. For earth, it will turn to dirt and crumble away. For water, it will become wet. This was it, the moment of truth. Cain took a deep breath and pumped some chakra into the paper. The paper immediately grew damp. Water, my affinity is water, Cain screamed to himself. He did a little cheer. In truth, he didn't care what he got. He was just happy he had one. Suddenly, the paper split into two. What? I have 2 elemental affinities? Yes! Cain cheered. Cain gasped out loud as the paper caught fire and burned to ash. Silence. Cain didn't move. He could hardly breathe. 3? I have 3 elemental affinities? Cain thought in disbelief. 1 was common, 2 was less so, but 3? It was extremely rare. Cain would spend the next several hours at the library, sitting there in quiet shock and thought. Hello, this is God Emoji. I just want to say, if you're listening, and made it to the end, thank you. This story is made by Tradox, and I'm gonna get through it. I'm done with finals finally, and yeah, bro, I'm gonna make a lot more of these. Keep it going. Alright, peace. See you in the next one.